So here's the thing, the subtitles are from Shortcut's text to speech, speech to text system, and yeah, Shortcut is the software I use for editing videos now. So yeah, you also use Shortcut too. Anyways, let's get to the video. Long overdue part 3 of data structures linked list. And yeah, I've performed this part behind the scenes, but now I finally know a more simplified version of doing it. But anyways, so insert, as you've noticed in insert, there's int list and an entry, and then int list where 0 means array list and 1 means linked list. So then if list equals 0, and then all this inserting into the array list you've already seen in previous parts. But now if list equals 1, we insert to linked list. So as you can look in the elements.c file, and I'm going to be referring to this as element from now on. So it has 3 variables: an integer called value, a struct element pointer called previous, and a struct element called next. Now, and then at the beginning I create a new element, which, actually it should be a global variable. I construct an element structure called first element, and then you get these 4 pointers called first, last, previous, and current. They all point to that first element. And yeah, here you see the visual representation of the linked list. Element 0 is that first element. But yeah, it's not sorted in this case. We'll deal with that later. Now if list is equals to 1, and then now if size is equals to 0, then current value is going to equal to entry, and then it's going to print this out. Printf successfully added value value, and then %d entry, and then size to element, and then %d, with previous being %d, and then instead of entry it's going to show current value, and then it's also going to show the previous value, prev value. Right, if size equals 0, then that, and then if size is greater than 0, then alright, so prev, let's put it into this format. Prev is now equal to current. Current will equal to the next of current. And so we're going to need to allocate some memory. Current next equals, and then it's struct element star. So, and then in parentheses, struct element star malloc size of struct element, and then current is going to equal to current next. Current value is now going to equal to entry, prev next will be equal to current, and then current previous, the difference between prev and previous being prev being one of the pointers we used here in main, and then previous being one of the pointers inside the element structure. Right, current previous equals prev, instead of prev value, current previous value. And now we're going to see how this works. Let's save and then compile and then run. Well, nothing happens. Let's look at the beginning. Clock, add random numbers 1 through 10, print link to list. Alright. If size equals to 0, current value equals entry. There might be some issues with the hanging pointers, but yeah, element first element. First, let's see if it can do a printf for successfully added value %d entry. Alright, so yeah, and then it says successfully added value 41. So then, that means it gets stuck somewhere in here. Current value equals entry. Oh. Now if we move this in here, then we can see whether it is able to assign. Alright, so it does. Current previous equals prev. Well, let's make it only print that for if size is greater than 0. Otherwise it's gonna say something like this. Current value and then it's not going to show the previous. And then yeah, new line here too. Alright, and then the terminal. Okay, for some reason this window is not able to show the terminal. Yeah, it seems we're not able to show both Notepad and the terminal both at the same time. Yeah, I can't even show terminal on here anymore. Yeah, Streamlabs should really fix itself, because we're not even able to show the terminal on here. Right, now we can. Yeah, the terminal window for some reason is practically impossible to show, but now here it is. Added value 41, and yeah, it shows the correct previous for each time. And then yeah, I'll show you the linked list thing later. Yeah, you can clearly see every element in the list. Alright, and then now here's the void print linked list method. Int emp equals 0, and then yeah, emp equals current value. Actually, we might not even need that variable. Let's just say it's gonna printf current value. Remove these two emps, and then current equals current.next. Yeah, I did do this linked list portion earlier, but I had so many errors and mistakes that I had to redo it. And yeah, so now this is a fresh redoing of it. But yeah, I do have it working right now. So now we're gonna see if it can create a really large number. Now we're gonna make it add 50 random numbers. And yeah, it makes it all the way to 50. Yeah, we're at element 49 right here, with the previous being 53. And then 256, 50. Yeah, I do have some recorded footage of this tutorial where it has 40 minutes of me trying to create a linked list but too many errors. This time around I was able to get it working pretty quickly. And as you recall, there was also, if I can show the notepad window, various numbers of insertions for the array list, various amounts of time it took to complete. And yeah, it was an exponential amount though, because as you can see, twice as many insertions equals 4 times the amount of time, 3 times as many, 9 times as time. So for the linked list to be better, at least for insertions and for sorting, it's going to be, our goal is to make it so that instead of the time increasing exponentially, let's make it more linear. Not necessarily fully linear, but at least for it to be somewhere in between linear and exponential. Alright, so let's get back to Notepad++. What we still have to do though is to sort all the elements in the linked list, because for the array list, once I was adding elements, I made sure that they were sorting. So yeah, is sorting equals 1 here, and then while is sorting equals 1 and index greater than 0. So then here in the linked list, after it adds an element and then sorts them. And yeah, as of now, let's reduce the number back all the way, let's say just to 5. And then, yeah, just to make sure the sorting system works. So then instead it's actually gonna look at the last of each time. So instead of prev right here, how about, well, prev last. So now prev last equals to last, and then last to next equals that the memory allocate, and then now last equals last next, and then last value equals entry. But now what actually happens is that it adds to the very last one every time. Prev next, prev last next equals last, last previous equals last prev. And yeah, this is just to make sure that they all have, that all of the elements are connected together. So yeah, just another test run to make sure it works. Oh, last prev undeclared. Oh, it's actually prev last. Prev undeclared. At line 36. Yeah, prev last. And then compile and run. But now what actually happens is, yeah, it just gets stuck at the beginning. Oh. Okay, last value equals entry, prev last equals last, last next equals memory allocate. Well, let's actually comment this out for now and then see if that changes anything. Yeah, this doesn't even seem to make any sense now, because it should have exactly... Wait, actually here's the problem, the empty loop. Okay, so as of now let's just set as sorting to 0. And then now it shouldn't get stuck anymore. Oh, it still does anyways. Oh, index equals 1. And even now it still gets stuck, so might as well just remove the while loop entirely. Oh. And even now it still gets stuck. So yeah, add this back on. Alright, now it works. Alright, so, and I'm gonna have to show the terminal window. The problem with Streamlabs is that you're not able to show both the terminal and Notepad++ at the same time, so I have to switch them, but the switching takes a long time because it takes a while for the Streamlabs to be able to screen share the terminal. But yeah, anyways, 47, 67, 34, 0, 69, and yeah, it does always show the correct previous. Alright, so now we can start getting to the sorting. Although, to prevent this video from getting too long, I'm gonna have to end it here. And yeah, so part 4 of data structures will be about sorting the linked list. See you then.